Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Yadhira Talavera. I am a relationship manager with Lendistry. We are the administrators for the State of New York Empire State Development Small Business Recovery Grant. It is the New York State COVID-19 Pandemic Small Business Recovery Grant Program, as seen on the screen. You can locate this information at nysmallbusinessrecovery.com. All the information that I will be sharing with you is available to you for you to apply. This grant is meant for those businesses that started before the March 1st, 2019 requirement, and were able to gross at least $25,000 minimum for the 2019 year, in addition to having a positive net profit is one of the additional requirements. So as I mentioned, this is for New York State businesses that are fall within the categories of a small business. These are the eligible businesses that are able to apply. The max amount of $2.5 million, $2.5 million is at the end of the amount that a business could gross in 2020. So there must be a reduction of 25% loss between 2019 and 2020 tax years. All the information is found on the website. The application guide is available and are the slides that I will be using today. They are available in multiple languages. In addition, the translation information can be found at the very top of the web page. You just select the flag corresponding to the language that you would like, and it translates the whole website as a whole. The accessibility portion allows for bigger text to come up on the site, in addition to screen readers. And if you like your stuff a little bit more distinct, you can use a dyslexia-friendly feature on this as well. Okay, so things to remember for this grant is that we do look at the overall calculation reduction of the 25% between the 2019 and 2020 tax year. We are to have these funds being used for payroll cost, commercial rent, mortgage cost, the utility cost. You wouldn't be able to use these funds to pay down or repay any portion of federal COVID-19 relief packages. So let's say you're like, Yadhira, I already took in care, we're already up to date from stuff that occurred between March 1st, 2020 and April 1st, 2021. I would say that's great, but let's remember where you got all of those funds so that you became yourself current. So if you had to dip into your savings accounts, your retirement fund, or even your child's education, you can use these funds to revert those withdrawals back because you used that stuff. So you kind of just use your balance sheet and state where all the money went from or came from. So you're kind of paying yourself back. These are things that you would not, that were not covered by, let's say, if you use it for the payroll costs between this time frame, and the PPP loan covered 75%, you would only be able to use the payroll costs for that additional 25% that was not covered, not for the full amount. Okay. Let's say that your insurance was covered by your retirement that you took out. You're able to go back and pay that retirement amount that you took out. Just make sure that you document it, where it's coming from, and such. Okay. So that's the great part of this grant. You kind of just pay yourself back for all of the trouble and agony that you went through during that time. As far as the documents that are needed, the application certification is something that will be needed to be completed. I recommend that if you do have, if you feel more comfortable in another language other than English, that you use a translate button on this and get all the information translated into the language of your comfort. Okay. So things that we want to know is that you are able to apply directly onto the website. You would click on Apply Now, which is right at the top. There are frequently asked questions, videos on demand for things such as how to find your NYS code, upload your documents, how to set up your Google Chrome, or link out your banking information. Even if you don't have time to sit with me and review this whole document, you can use this and redo the application process video at your leisure in case you lose, track of this webinar. So all of this information is available to you under videos on demand on the website. We do provide a few webinars here and there. So you could always check to see if we're offering that. And our contact information is down at the very bottom of the website. We are open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we do have Saturday hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right. So just for recording purposes, our contact information is 877-721-0097. Once again, that's 877-721-0097. All right, awesome. So as far as applying, you would look at this, download the form, which is the application certification. Make sure that you actually download and save the application so that you are able to download the correct document later on. Okay, I changed mine to test caps and hats. You would go ahead and click on save. And once all of that is saved, you would then open the document and enter your initials for each section. And it will look something like this. So each section has my initials. I've read each section and I agree with it. At the very end of the 5th page, I'll be asked to sign it. You could do it a digital signature, a pen signature, or you could do the little signature panel if you would like. You enter the date, the name of the company, the address. If you have an ITIN, if you have an EIN for your company, please enter that. If you're a sole proprietor and use your social or your ITIN, you would enter that information instead. Okay. So after you complete all this, make sure you save it once more. File, save, save as, and then there we go. I saved it with my the name of the document and then my last name. That's fine. You could also use it as a replacement with the name of your business if you like. It's just a good way of knowing what document you're uploading and for us to make sure that it belongs to you. All right. Other proofs of business location that we do request is 2 forms of the following documents, either a lease, a utility bill, mortgage statements, current bank statements, credit card statements, professional insurance bills, or payment processing statements. And we could even use your sales tax collection documentation. This grant is also for independent arts and cultural organizations. So if you have any of those organizations that are close to your heart, or even if they're not and they're in your community and you still want to see them around, please let them know that they can apply for this grant as well. Okay. When you're starting to apply, you would click on Apply Now. We do want you to remember to use Google Chrome and disable your pop-up blockers because they are part of the whole amount of all the goods and of the application. Let me show you. If you get stuck in one section, you're able to click on Watch Video. And we do have nice music that goes along with how to complete that section of the application. All right. So once again, each section will go and notate what it is that needs to go on each line. So it's like, Yadhira, why am I even here? You're here so I could give you all the information and you know, just in case you get stuck, where to go. All right. But that's awesome, right? So going back to the actual application, the first part of the application, which is the let's get started with your application, is what creates your username for the application so you could come back in and out if need to, or check on the status of your application. So you enter the information as needed. Please use an email that you're able to check constantly and that does not start on info or contact or reply, no reply. We want something that is more personal, I guess, if it's a better word, but that you can, but certainly that you are checking frequently. Phone numbers, please make sure that you confirm the correct phone number. You add the name of the business, the zip code. If you have a preferred language other than English, please enter that. We do send out text messages if you allow us to. If you would like to receive a text message, please click here. I do request that you do take advantage of this feature, since we will most likely send you an email and text you at the same time, letting you know that we have sent you an email. It's something that you would be able to look forward to. And although you cannot reply to them, you know, we could keep in constant contact that way. So if you press continue, you'll be allowed to go forward down to the application. I want to show you really quickly that once you actually submit that first report, you'll be receiving an email letting you know of your username, which is the name, the email address that you used, and then a temporary password. This temporary password will be used the first time that you log in, clicking the purple button. After you have logged in with the temporary password, it will prompt you to change your password to something that you'll be able to remember. Okay. So moving along, the owner's information, we want to know all the information about the owner that is applying. So if you have a home address, enter that information. If there's an apartment number, please enter that. I ask that you not use PO boxes for any of these documents. It will delay the processing of your application since we are unable to verify that the PO box is an actual location in New York. All right, or a resident in New York. The city owner and the state, Nebraska. The date of birth. And this is all the information to the owner, okay? Make myself a little older. And then once again, if depending on if you use an ITIN or social, that's the information that we're going to request here. And then your ownership of the company. If you have a 50% ownership of the company, we will ask that you can that you complete this information for additional owners down here. And once again, this is found at the front of that first page where you click on Apply Now. This has the PDF. You could save it and fill out all the documentation and then upload the ID onto the document. Okay. Now we'll enter all the information for the business. How can we help you? The demographics, the disclosures. Please make sure that you're reading the disclosures to the best of your abilities. We want to make sure that you are in operation currently, that your business is, if your business is for profit, you would click yes. If you click no, what it does is it starts giving you information in regards to the nonprofit. So, for all those that are profit, make sure you select yes. If you are in compliance, we're requesting from you if you are in compliance. So you do it accordingly. For those that owe taxes prior to July 15, 2020, please make sure that you start a payment plan prior to filling out this application so that you can state that you do not owe any taxes, okay? So right here, a yes equals that you owe taxes and you do not have a plan. Answer no, and it means that you don't owe taxes or that you owe taxes but have a plan, all right? So something that we want to see is a no here. If you owe taxes and you don't have a deferment, make sure that you do so before you start the application so you can complete all of that information. All right. Is your business a for-profit, independent, or culture? This one would be a no. Are you a disabled veteran? For me, it would be no. This business is not set up as a co-op. And then is 50 or more % owned by a social economically disadvantaged person that includes minority, women-owned, and veteran-owned, or a business located in communities that were economically distressed prior to March 1st, 2020. For this answer, I will make yes. Annual percentage rate should match what's on your taxes. Now, when you're looking at your taxes, we want to make sure that you're looking at the lines that correspond to what we're requesting. So I'm going to bring you back to the original page. For the gross receipts for 2019, 2020, these are the lines that we would be looking for. We also want to make sure that you have a positive net profit for 2019. All right, so those are two things that you want to make sure that you're, before you start this application, that you look to make sure that you have to qualify. Your gross receipts must be the minimum of $25,000 and no more than $2.5 million at the end of 2020. Okay. All right. So as I remind you, it needs to be at least 25,000 in order to qualify, and you must have at least made the drop of 25% from 1 year over to the other. If you were operating in 2019, how many of those months were you operating? During COVID, did you receive funding? If you did, please indicate how much they were. Please pay attention to where you're indicating the grant amounts. You are able to receive grants, the grant funds, if you have already received other type of assistance during COVID, but there is max amounts in which you should make yourself familiar with. This is in section 5 of the qualification portion. So the PPP loan should not exceed $250,000. EIDL loans should not exceed $10,000. EIDL loan target advance grant, no more than 5. So please make sure that you're looking at that so that the correct answers go into your application. If you do not receive any assistance from any technical assistance, entrepreneurial centers, or community development locations, that's fine, Chamber of Commerce. But we are here at the Small Business Development Center, so you did receive some support from us. So please make sure you enter yes. Is your business currently in need of a technical support? This is more of a survey question, so if it's a yes, enter a yes. Is your business currently in need of a loan? If your answer is yes, press yes. If not, just put no. These two questions have no bearing on your grant themselves, but they do need to be answered. Once you're completely finished with your application, you're able to select yes or no to submit your application. If you select no, you will be able to save and continue later. If you select yes and a portion of your application is not complete, it will not allow you to submit. So you would have to go back and complete the application so that all of the stuff that has an asterisk is completed. Okay, so that's a good way of knowing if your application is completed or not. You would receive a notification saying that you have submitted your application successfully, and will be able to move on once you sign in once again to upload your documents for that second part of the application, so that we could receive everything all at once. We do recommend that everyone complete their application, including uploads, within 14 days of the day that you started, so that everything can be nice and packaged and processed on time. All right, so everything that you would be providing to us is encrypted. We do recommend that if your documentation is password protective, there is a space for you to include the password so that we are able to open that document. Most of the time you would see these documents have a password protection. on anything that has to do with financial statements. So we do have a space for that to be included in there. No one at Lendistry will be seeing this password, so it's safe with us. Okay. As far as the documents that you would be providing, please make sure that they are no larger than 15 megabytes. All of the documents could be submitted in one PDF for each section. For example, if the application certification has 5 pages, please just give us one document containing all 5 pages. All right. Same thing goes for your taxes. Your taxes are 20 pages long. Please just give us one document with all 20 pages. For those that do have employees, we do request that you submit an NYS 45 that is the most recent to that quarter. So right now we are in the beginning of Q3, so your closest quarter would be that of Q2. If you yet not to have filed Q2, you can submit Q1. However, be prepared to supply Q2 once the verification process has begun. All right. So if you have any questions, please make sure you give us a call at the call center. You can always visit one of your SBDCs and they could assist you as well. Thank you so much for attending.
That was great. You really went through that quickly. That was good. Thank you very much. Again, it was great. Thank you. I'm sorry that we didn't have more people this time, but still, those that needed to hear it did hear it, and we're here. Thanks so much. I'll be in touch with you, and that's it. Anything else anybody wants to say, ask questions? Otherwise, we're going to close for today. Nope. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye now.